Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, guys. Shout out to OG's Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. Head on over to ogsbrands.com to see their full lineup, including their two newest gummies. We're talking about the OG's Naturals and the Big OGs, and find out where you can purchase. I am Anthony Totri. We are joined on this lovely Friday. We got Erik Ruby behind the Mac, making all the magic happen. I'm sure we'll be hearing from him at times throughout the show, especially when we get to the tail end at Hot or Not. But it's not just me and Mr. Ruby here today. Don't worry, because shout out to our boy Shane Diefenbach and PHNX Cardinals for hooking us up. We got some sound from Jordan Travis. We got some sound from Johnny Wilson. We've also got a brand new edition of Kelsey's Corner that we're going to play for everybody. Update everyone on what's going on with Sun Devil softball. But in the meantime, guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you like about this podcast. But let's get right into it. We're not going to waste any time here because, again, Jordan Travis, Florida State quarterback, headed to the league. He's at the NFL Combine, obviously getting ready for all things NFL draft. And, of course, he's at the podium. And, of course, our lovely friends with PHNX Cardinals, they were able to talk with him a little bit about his relationship with Arizona State's coach, Kenny Dillingham. Kenny Dillingham, obviously in place at Arizona State. And before we get to what Jordan Travis had to say about Coach KD, I think, again, it just goes to show you how important the relationships are when it comes to college football. This isn't the league yet, right? Kenny Dillingham has got literally kids that he's building these relationships with as a mentor, as a teacher, and trying to teach them the game of football. It is so damn impressive, not only KD's football mind, but the ability to be genuine in this era of college sports, which I feel like is a really difficult thing to do because it is a lot about money. It is a lot about NIL. It is a lot about where can I succeed immediately and get a bag. KD, he's going to keep it a buck with you the entire time. And he helped transform not one, but multiple careers already in the college ranks. Jordan Travis, one of them, right? And we'll hear from Jordan Travis, but Bo Nix, a quarterback that we've had the luxury to talk to when we were at Pac-12 Media Day, and sat down and just asked him a little bit about that relationship. When Bo Nix was talking at Pac-12 Media Day, Kenny Dillingham was off to the side watching. And when Kenny Dillingham was speaking, Bo Nix was off to the side watching. That's a relationship. That's a bond. That is a level of trust that these two men have with each other, right? It really is a mentor-style relationship. And you got the same thing from Jordan Travis. It is so damn special. But enough about me rambling. This is what Jordan Travis had to say about Coach KD.
I mean, that was a guy early on in my career that helped change it. Going through a lot. Once again, I mean, I was a little rough point in my career. He was like my best friend. He had my back through everything. He supported me through everything. So, yeah, I respect Coach Dillingham, and I appreciate him more than anything.
At his back. I think for me, that says a lot.
Said he was his best friend at a certain point, at the hardest point of his career.
That's crazy.
You don't ever, and I don't think I have actually ever heard a player discuss a coach at any level being
say they're the best friend.
Their best friend.
Yeah.
And KD actually tweeted this quote and said his only friend, and it was him being his only follow on Twitter at one point, which I thought was funny. That's friend shit right there, though.
It really is. It's so damn important, man. And I think, again, like, as an Arizona State fan, I want everybody in the chat, whether you're an Arizona State fan, UA fan, whatever, like, do you see this anywhere else? Because like Erik said, I don't. Yes, there are coaches that have unique relationships with their players. They got to stand out, right? Kenny Dillingham, and for everybody, in the high school ranks, for everybody that's new to college football, for everybody even younger, just starting to play football. And you hear that. You hear a future NFL quarterback in one of the biggest moments of his life at the NFL Combine, in front of all 32 teams, in front of scouts, in front of media, in front of national people, to sit there and say, you know what? Kenny Dillingham at one point was my best friend. My offensive coordinator, my quarterback coach, got nothing but love, nothing but respect. That says so much. So I say all this because we say it. We sit here on this podcast and we talk a lot about Kenny Dillingham off the field, okay? And I know results need to come, obviously. You got to win games, otherwise you got to go. That's just, it's a results-based industry. So, yes, it's important. Yes, I believe the results will come. But when I sit on this podcast with Erik, with Shane, with Jacob, with anybody else, with Ralph, and we sit here and we talk about how incredible it is what Kenny Dillingham has already done in less than 2 full years at Arizona State, we mean it. Because I sit here as somebody who's covered other coaches across the nation. I've covered Herm Edwards. I've covered Brian Kelly. I've covered Marcus Freeman. I've covered Todd Graham. Those are just coaches that I have been with at practices that I've seen, games that I've seen, interviews that I've seen, that I've been a part of, one-on-ones, etc. Like, you have those moments to really sit there and try and get a good understanding for what this coach is outside of media. And that's important, because when you get to talk to a Kenny Dillingham, when you get to talk to a Brian Kelly or a Todd Graham or a Herm Edwards, whatever, there is the level of, okay, what are they feeding me, right? In the sense of how much of this is just pure BS because it's media, right? They have to. Versus, what are they like when the lights are out and the cameras are off? And I can tell you what, Kenny Dillingham is as much as Kenny Dillingham when the lights are on and when the lights are off. He's the same guy. He's going to give you 110% of Kenny Dillingham at all times. And I think that is something, again, that is so damn important in this era of college sports that you don't see it enough. So if I am a sophomore in high school, Arizona State's been recruiting me, and I listen to that clip of Jordan Travis talk about his relationship and his bond with Kenny Dillingham, it maybe irks your interest even a little bit more. Maybe you do have that sense of, like, oh, maybe I should give Arizona State another look.
And even if you're not considering Arizona State, right? And all of a sudden, like, you have your schools, you have your list of schools, and ASU isn't even a school on the radar. And you just start hearing all of your friends or the people that you've played against in tournaments, or you see online these players talking about, hey, this guy's really awesome.
Yeah.
You might just stop and go, well, I should at least give him a shot. And I feel like a lot of people, if they give Kenny a shot, even though we're in the era of NIL, they will have success. They will be able to pull players in, or they might just connect, have a good relationship off the bat, and then that player goes somewhere else. Yeah. Kenny Dillingham says, I fully support your decision. 1 year later, because we are in the era of switching schools basically every year, you might go, okay, I went after the money. I went after maybe a program that has more concrete success right now, less promise, more what can I look at and say what happened. But that didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go to the guy that I just got a really good vibe from. And to your point about Kenny doesn't just like turn it on and off. Back when I worked in radio, we had Kenny Dillingham in studio a couple times. And before, after, during,
he's Kenny.
He talks exactly the same. And that's why he's always so hoarse all the time. Because he literally does not stop.
Yeah.
He doesn't. And that is just something that, it's not just the way that he speaks, but it's his investment in people. It just shows that he cares.
No, you're right. You're right. And I think the most important part of this is, if you're an Arizona State person, right, is let's get something completely clear. Arizona State has a single player at the NFL Combine right now, Ro Torrence, the only Arizona State Sun Devil that finished his career at Arizona State. Yet, I'm hearing from Jordan Travis about Kenny Dillingham in Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham is starting to get individuals to talk about Arizona State University and being a Sun Devil, and he's doing it in just 2 years. Again, where was this program before Kenny got here? Roster, bottom of the Pac-12. Coaching staff, bottom of the Pac-12. NCAA investigation. It wasn't a desirable place. But you could say in less than 2 years, Arizona State suddenly is a place people are considering, people are talking about on a national stage. It's damn important. Short Bus in the chat, being on Twitter as much as I am, it's really interesting. Him even praising guys leaving. And yeah, part of him praising guys leaving, and again, it is genuine, absolutely genuine. But as somebody who's been a part of a lot of those press conferences and watched Kenny speak and has seen some of the moves that Kenny makes, Kenny is methodical. Kenny is always playing chess in everything. And so, yes, that is a genuine thing that he does when he is quote retweeting or retweeting, potential Sun Devils who opted to go somewhere else or get a bag in the transfer portal or get other offers. Like, yes, that's genuine, but part of it is also like, hey, we're in this era of college football to where, who knows? This kid might be available in a year. This kid might be available in 3 years. And when all the other coaches stopped calling and texting and wishing me well, who was there? Who was there saying, you know what? Good for you as a person. It goes a long way with these kids, man.
And that's the thing. It's not that he's being disingenuous or he's just doing it for personal gain. And it's part of the reason why it means so much and why it will play such a factor going forward is because who he is absolutely perfect for this current state of college football. Because
beautiful.
Maybe 5 years ago, Kenny Dillingham wouldn't have been the type of guy to like publicly say that.
Yeah.
But he's smart enough to go, okay, well, I feel that way for the person, and I always tell them I root for their personal success. It would be hypocritical for me to operate in a different way now that it technically does not benefit me.
Yeah.
And so he's going out there, and sure, he probably says this is not going to be a bad PR move, but there's no promise that doing that is actually going to help you at all.
Yeah, you're right.
He's doing it for the individual. He's doing it for the person. And I'm sure if other coaches come calling about players who are transferring or players that are leaving, as long as they are in good standing at ASU, he's probably not trashing their name or trying to take their value to keep them there. If anything, he's probably building them up and saying, yes, this is an incredible young man. Take him.
Yeah.
He is perfect. He is perfect for this era of college football just because of how he operates, not because of what he forces himself to do.
And this is us talking about it, right? And building it up. But even in its most basic sense, think of it like this. Kenny Dillingham coached Bo Nix, Jordan Travis recently, both of which very tight-knit, strong relationships with Kenny Dillingham. Both of which, Jordan Travis and Bo Nix, will be NFL quarterbacks. Starters, potentially. Backups, maybe. They will be NFL quarterbacks. So, if I'm a future Arizona State Sun Devil, if I'm a future college football player, if I'm somebody in the portal, etc., and I say, you know what, my number one goal is to get to the NFL. Well, I'm looking at these future NFL prospects on the podium at the senior day or the Senior Bowl, pardon me, or the NFL Combine, whatever. And I'm saying, what's the common denominator here? Not to say he's all the success, because he's not. But Kenny Dillingham is a common denominator between Jordan Travis and Bo Nix's careers getting revitalized and transformed into what they are now. That says something. If you are a talented quarterback, maybe Kenny Dillingham in Arizona State, maybe that's just the right spot for you. So we'll see. Dennis in the chat, is Graham Rossini going to be the new AD? I wish Crow would get off his ass and do something. From what I have heard as of most recently, it sounds like Arizona State, again, is still slowly milking this process. I can say that the expectation now is probably early summer, potentially even April, to hear some more news on a future athletic director. But it sounds like from everything that I've heard, April is probably the earliest that you would hear anything on a new athletic director. But we will see Short Bus also in the chat talking a little bit about the athletic director position. But look, Jordan Travis wasn't the only one at the NFL Combine talking about Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State, more specifically, former Arizona State wide receiver and another dude who went to Florida State. Johnny Wilson was at the podium today, and this is what he had to say about his time in Tempe.
ASU, I mean, I really just learned, the importance of a brotherhood and what it takes to win. You win a lot of games when your team's really close.
Yeah.
So.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You could tell the difference in answers and being
man.
Genuine.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Come on, Johnny. Play that one more time. Just one more time.
At ASU, I mean, I really just learned, the importance of a brotherhood and what it takes to win. You win a lot of games when your team's really close.
Yeah. Hold up. I figured it out. He didn't say that it was a good example at ASU. He just said at ASU,
said you learn a lot.
He said, I learned how important a brotherhood is and that you win a lot of games when you're close. He didn't say that's what we did at Arizona State. He said, I learned that you need to have that done in order to win.
Oh, man. Johnny, when you were at Arizona State, it was, come on now. Let's be real. I know you got to answer it the way you got to answer it. But, Johnny, when you were at Arizona State, man, there wasn't a whole, crazy streak of winning. The locker room and the brotherhood was, what was it? Like, when Jaden Daniels left, how many people were, tearing shit out of his locker?
But I don't think he was saying that that's what was going on at ASU.
No.
I think he's agreeing with your point and saying that wasn't there, and that's why that the success wasn't there, and that's why he left.
Yeah.
But you can't come out at the combine and be like, "Yeah, it sucked." You can't do that. You can't do that.
Be like, "Yeah, Johnny, what was your time like at Arizona State?" Be like, "Well, our coach got us into an NCAA investigation. Our quarterback didn't want to be there anymore." What else is going on? They got me third on the depth chart. It was, when I first saw that, I was like, come on, Johnny. Immediately, that's where we're going. And again, Johnny Wilson didn't have the greatest career at Arizona State by any means. I think he found himself into a much better situation for himself at the time at Florida State, catching passes from Jordan Travis and company. And we know what Florida State was this past season. But for Arizona State, again, how many former Sun Devils are going to be in the league this year? Jaden Daniels, Johnny Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, a bunch of Ladarius Henderson that all were at Arizona State together. And that just goes to show you again the juxtaposition that we have. One guy played for Herm. One guy played for Kenny. One did it at Arizona State. One didn't. Jordan Travis, glowing remarks and praise for Kenny Dillingham. Johnny Wilson didn't even mention his head coach at Arizona State by name. Spoke for 9 seconds about a place that he spent time playing in Tempe. Says a lot about the coaching staff. Says a lot about the program and where it was at the time versus where it's at now and where it could go. It's definitely a unique thing to see, to say the least, Erik.
I think that he's just coming out there and he's like, all right, he probably did not expect to be asked about his time at ASU.
Yeah.
Right? You're at the combine and you've had such a career afterwards after you've left ASU, and nothing that has happened there is contributing to you being at that podium answering those questions.
Literally nothing.
And so he's like, okay, I learned that it's important for a team to be close.
Yeah.
And I learned it because we weren't. But yeah, listen, man, it just paints the picture even more so. And, we were talking about, oh man, we're really excited to actually have football to talk about soon, and spring football and all of that. Obviously we would like to talk more about stuff that's what's happening on the field.
Yeah.
But we've passed all that period. So now we're sitting here okay, what are these players even saying? How can we break that down? But it still paints a picture.
Yeah, for sure.
In the large scheme of things, what Johnny Wilson and what Jordan Travis had to say at the combine, it's going to be a drop in the ocean by the end of the day.
Yeah.
But for right now, if you're just trying to crystal ball and predict the future, which is the position that we're in, you're in a lot better hands. And I'm sure that if Johnny Wilson was at ASU, he could, and then left, with Kenny Dillingham, he'd be saying the same thing, but then with 15 seconds afterwards about how amazing that experience was at ASU and how he learned that because he saw how close everybody was. Plus, that was an 8-second answer. That's about it. That's about as short as it can get, right? Like Jordan Travis's was about 20 seconds, which isn't
play at ASU,
right? Which isn't that long, but it had some of the most impactful words of that man was literally my best friend.
Yeah,
and
then Johnny Wilson.
Just the length of the answers, man. I'm just so glad we don't have to worry about that era anymore.
It's so funny. Short us in the chat. By playing, you mean injured on the sideline, right? I mean, hey, Johnny Wilson, he did catch 18 total passes through 2 seasons at Arizona State.
All because of the brotherhood.
Exactly. The brotherhood and the concept of winning was just real. It was really ringing in strong at Arizona State. Pearsall said the same thing, too. According to LTC, share it in the chat. I do think that some of those guys were close because they do seem to keep in touch. The coaching and culture, though, not so sure about that. Yeah, look, as somebody who's played sports, again, I've said it, I've played sports, but not at obviously that level. Like there is that connectedness, even if you aren't in total agreement with the coaching staff. Like the players are the players, and there is that bond, that relationship, and you do kind of all have the same, I don't want to say mantra, but you all usually have the same position toward the coaching staff, whether you all like them, you all dislike them. Of course, there's a few outliers here or there, but more often than not, we've heard that people love Kenny Dillingham, and more often than not, there's not a whole lot of people that have a whole lot of great, amazing things to say about Herm Edwards specifically at his time or during his time at Arizona State. But enough about Herm Edwards, enough about the NFL Combine. Look, we'll continue talking about Arizona State here in just a second. But first, I want to tell you guys a little bit about Prize Picks, because you can actually go on Prize Picks and you can make picks related to the NFL Combine, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They're the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers, okay? Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros, sharks, people that do this every single day, all day long, nah, you pick more than or less than on 2 through 6 player stat combos, projections, and watch the winnings roll in. Guys, football season, it may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you could turn your hoops knowledge into some serious cash. Personally, I've used Prize Picks a couple different times. I'm still the win for me is elusive. The win for me is elusive on Prize Picks, but I'll tell you what, it really is a whole lot of fun. You can even bet, or not bet, but you can even like pick the more than or less than on like fantasy points, which I think is super, super fun. Prize Picks, guys, go check them out. Go to prizepicks.com/PHNX and use code PHNX for a first deposit match up to $100. They're literally going to be giving you free money. That's prizepicks.com/PHNX and use that code PHNX. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I know our boy Espo has won some money on Prize Picks. If I remember, Short Bus has said he got addicted to Prize Picks.
Really?
Yeah, I think when we started doing Prize Picks reads, he was like, "How dare you guys? I'm addicted now, and I can't stop playing."
It's fun. It's fun. It's because it feels like you're playing, right? It's where the other ones, it's not necessarily. It's like you pick something and then you just kind of let it go. Prize Picks, it does feel like you're playing something.
Yeah, it's a game, but it's also a game where you can make some money, which is super fun. And making money is a great time, man.
Absolutely. Games where you can make money, not just Prize Picks, but we're talking about the Arizona Lottery too, because they're introducing a unique new ticket and promotion called Arizona Adventure. There are 3 ways to play and win big. Play Arizona Adventure lottery tickets featuring 3 iconic landscapes. Camelback Mountain is one of the 3. Guys, go check it out. These tickets have prizes up to $50,000. You can also check in at geolocated adventures at 10 destinations across the state from Flagstaff to Yuma. All you got to do is visit azadventure.com for details and directions, or hey, enter tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in cash in Arizona travel prizes. How does all that sound to you, Erik?
I love nature. I love money. Yeah, I think that's a win-win for me.
Nothing better than nature
makes me
and
pretty
green.
happy.
The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It's also about giving back to the state and its communities. Visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash in Arizona travel prizes. Short Bus, I hit a big one 2 days ago in the chat. Let me know. What was it? And first off, why are you not putting it in the Die Hard Discord so that we can all get in on the action? Come on, Short Bus. We need a Die Hard Discord or Die Hard. Wow, I can't speak.
You got it.
The Die Hard Discord. We need one that everybody can play, guys. And if you're new here to PHNX, do us a solid. Highly recommend you go check out gophnx.com. Hit that Die Hard tab. And it's going to show you everything that you are going to unlock when you're a diehard, whether that be Arizona State's diehard Discord, the Cardinals, the Coyotes, the Diamondbacks, the Suns. You're going to get all of that access, not to mention so much more exclusive content. Yesterday, by the way, the Jonathan Gannon interview that just aired on PHNX Cardinals, everybody in the diehard Discord for the Cardinals chat knew that was coming out today. Okay, so there is so damn much that you're going to get when you become a diehard, including discounts on merch, events, all of the above. Like I said, I'm only one man. I can only tell you so much, but that diehard tab on gophnx.com, it's going to have it all for you. It's beautiful.
It's honestly, it's the best thing in the local sports market right now. And I could say that as somebody who was an outsider and now has joined and become an insider.
It's fun.
It is truly the best, absolute best place. And Sharon's saying, Erik, come produce the show in front of the camera. Let's see, maybe I can turn this camera on.
Let's see what we could do. Give
me a second. Give me a second.
Look, it's the perfect time to do it because I'll literally tell you why. The Diamondbacks are in spring training. Okay, you've got Derek and Jesse absolutely slaughtering the coverage out there. You've got Bo, Johnny, Shane, and Damon, the NFL Combine, giving you everything under the sun that you could need to know about the NFL Draft and the Arizona Cardinals. You've got everybody in the Suns group, Lindsey, Gerald, Saul, Espo and company. Guess what? NBA playoffs are right around the corner. And for us here at Arizona State, there's Erik right there. We absolutely love to see it. But you're going to get so much information as it relates to spring football right around the corner. I can't wait to be locked in on that. This is going to be... Erik, you weren't here last time we did spring ball, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Well, buckle up, man. The coverage is going to get absolutely crazy. Absolutely love it. The same awesome stuff that we delivered to you guys for the transfer portal, any of the news on the prospects, any of the recruiting stuff, it's going to be just as fun.
And I know a lot of you guys were here during the off season and the whole transfer portal and everything like that. But this man right here, Anthony Totri, was just on fire because if he said a name on the podcast, that person was a Sun Devil in a week. Like, I'm not even kidding, a Sun Devil in a week. So if he was saying it on the podcast, he was saying it in the Die Hard Discord like a day or two before. Everybody can vouch for it, guys. This dude right here, He knows what he's doing. I'm just here to talk and have some fun, but this is the man who's got his ear to the ground. It's truly great. And Sharon's excited. She said, my first time really paying attention to spring football too. I'm excited. Sharon's a really great story where she has truly dove into ASU athletics when diving into our Discord. And as I can tell from all the comments and everything like that, she absolutely loves it. And we love having her around and chopping it up with her. Guys, it's just, it's awesome to talk to all of you. It's awesome to have this community. Just be a part of it. I don't know. It's pretty easy. Just be a part of it.
It is a lot of fun. Absolutely. And I know, again, we've got some diehards in the chat. Sharon, Short Bus. If you have any questions, just ask them. They really are some PHNX diehards, and they're awesome. They are absolutely awesome. But enough, again, of me rambling. Look, we heard from Jordan Travis. We heard from Johnny Wilson. Let's get to the real interview, the one that I'm excited for everybody to see. Another edition of Kelsey's Corner. It's a segment that we do once a week with Arizona State softball outfielder Kelsey Hall, who's had a ridiculous start to the Arizona State softball season. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for everybody to see it.
And I will say, you're going to want to stay till the end because she's
kind of threw me under the bus.
She's going for Totri's throat a little bit. So I would highly encourage you guys to it's a 15-minute interview. Every single minute's fantastic. She's awesome. Totri's awesome. But at the end, gets a little chippy.
She grills me, man.
Gets a little chippy.
She grills me.
So you're going to want to check it out.
Absolutely. Here is another edition of Kelsey's Corner.
been able to make comments about it, but
Ridiculous. We're back for another edition of Kelsey's Corner with Arizona State softball outfielder Kelsey Hall. Kelsey, 11-6 now to start the season. We'll get into everything that happened last weekend, what's ahead. I want to start off, though, with the Ohio State game. 12-10. Just take me through that ridiculous 10th inning.
it was even up to the 10th inning. It was just the craziest. I tell everyone that was the most intense, electric game of softball I've ever played in my life. It was the atmosphere, the energy in the dugout. It was just insane. Obviously, at the beginning of the game, we were down 6-0.
Yeah.
And we couldn't just bring things along. And then I think it was Sam Swan, a freshman, came in and hit a home run, a pinch hit home run. And then we were like, we got this. We're going to do this. And then it was just one thing after another. That was the game where there was nothing we couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, if they scored, okay, that's fine. And people were making ESPN plays on the field. There was just no way that game wasn't going to go our way. And so it was awesome. We went into the 10th inning, and I think they had scored only one, because in the 9th inning they had scored two. And that's when I had hit an RBI or 2 RBI base hits. So we're like, guys, we are winning this game. It was every play that was made, it was like we won the World Series, which I think was such a foundational turning point for our team. Because like we talked about last time, that's things we talk about is just buying in, celebrating. And then when Sarah hit that bomb, I had goosebumps because it was just a no-doubter.
Yeah.
And seeing there's a video that they had posted and you see Coach B's reaction. I've never seen her jump. She might have gotten a PR on the team for how high she jumped when she realized it was a home run. It was, and then when we went into the dugout or the locker room after, wow, that was one of the best feelings ever. So
yeah, I can't even imagine, right? Like 12-10, you talk about the 9th inning to get to where you're at. You started down 6 runs, then you get the single to have someone on base, and then a 2-run shot to end the day. Especially, I feel like throughout the weekend, like overall, it was a great weekend for you, like for Arizona State softball. Just like, was that the moment for you, like this season so far, where you could just be like, okay, this team has the juice to do something special?
Oh, 100%. It was the coaches, and we all kind of joked around and we're like, now we kind of messed up because we showed we can do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, now we know that you guys can bring this juice and you guys can show up to against a very awesome team, because Ohio State's a really good team.
Yeah.
And so now that's our, they call it elevating the floor or elevating the ceiling or lowering the ceiling. Something like that, where it's like, that's our standard now. So that was definitely a turning point for this team, to where it was, that's what we can do and that's what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about obviously that game being a turning point, I think, for you guys so far. It's still pretty early in the season, but through 17 games, just how do you feel, I guess, health-wise, and then also just how is the team kind of gelling together 17 games in? Again, 11-6 start is a pretty good start compared to what this team was last season.
This team is coming together a lot more tight-knit within the team itself, which I think is really special. As much as we love our coaches, we're bought into our coaches, the girls are on the field.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that's really helping us too, is we're celebrating each other, which we've always, like I told you before, we all love each other.
Yeah.
But it's celebrating each other and buying into each other on and off the field, I think has been an immense turning point for us, which has been really cool to see. And health-wise, I think our team's coming along. You see Jordan back in the lineup consistently, which is awesome. So, and I think obviously we had a long game stretch where bodies are getting tired, but I think once we calm down into conference, because you only play 3 games a weekend, we're gonna excel health-wise. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wanna transition. We talked a little bit at the start of the season, kind of when we did the first edition of Kelsey's Corner, about some players that really had some strong starts. And I feel like Yanixa Acuna has had just a remarkable start to the season, leads the team in hits, and she's only a sophomore, correct? Like she's had just a ridiculous start. I know obviously her older sister, kind of an ASU softball legend. She's still a part of the program in a way. Like, just what have you seen from her through 17 games in terms of a sophomore being able to step up and really take advantage of her opportunity?
She's so fun to play around, first off. She is someone, when I'm playing center field and she's playing left, just our chemistry and her presence on the field, I've recognized and I felt has grown so much more. I see the confidence in her, and I see, because she's always been a hard worker. I mean, she has her sister always holding her, being her accountability partner too. So that's never been a question. That hasn't changed. But once again, like we talked about last time, I think her seeing that she can be a really big part of this program, she's going into the box with that presence. She's going in, and she also has a lot more of a calm, cool, collected mindset, which I think some people should take on, right? Because she doesn't let the moment get too big, which I really respect out of her. She gets the 2-out hits, she gets the 2-strike hits, which that takes an elite mindset. So it's been really awesome to see her grow.
Absolutely. Kelsey, I mean, you've also had a stellar start to the season. I'm just curious where that one where's the home run, Kelsey? Where's the dinger? We're waiting for it.
You and me both. Like, I am telling myself that it's just an anticipation because it's going to come when we really need it.
There you go.
That's what I'm telling myself. But, at the end of the day, my biggest focus, obviously the home run would be awesome because I know that's in my toolbox is power, but I'm getting on base. Lely's hitting me in. We're doing some good things there. And if I'm not doing it, luckily other people are. So it'll come. I'm getting on base, so a win is a win.
Halfway there.
Yeah, we're building. We're building. It'll be good things, I promise.
Another just giant slate of games this weekend. Starting obviously Friday, you guys have a doubleheader today, correct?
Correct.
For you, like, this is really, I want to say, the last giant chunk of games that you have prior to starting to get into like series. I know you've got Washington next week on the road. Just what do you feel like you guys need to accomplish as a unit before next week kind of happens and you do start to have those series games where you are seeing teams 2-3 times a week?
What we talked about in the dugout yesterday or the locker room, I keep saying dugout, but it is our new team locker room, which we love. What we talked about is going into this weekend, it doesn't matter who's on the field. We are going to show up consistently ourselves. So exactly in those 3-game series where teams are continuing to see you, you have to show up consistently with your mindset. You can't take a day off, right? Because they're seeing you again, and good teams like Washington are going to capitalize on it. So our goal is to, just like that energy in the Ohio State game, just like that belief and that swagger, we are controlling it with everyone that we play. So making sure that we prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally as if we're going into pack play.
Yeah.
So that way, when we go into pack play, it's not like, okay, like, how do we do our mindset? Like, we've been preparing for this for 4 weeks or however long it's been.
Yeah.
That's our.
I think when you look at some of the games, right, you've got obviously ranked opponents throughout the season. You've got series. You've got teams on the road. You got them at Club Farrington. And I think for people that don't necessarily, talk to athletes a lot or they never played sports, it may be a little bit difficult to understand the idea of just staying focused on one game, right? Like, I think there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this is an easy opponent. They see the record and they're like, okay, but next week they got this. Right. So like, how do you stay centered in a way where you are just able to focus on what the task at hand, as opposed to being like, this team is whatever, but next week we got a ranked opponent?
I think it comes down to the mentality that we can't get to where we want to be if we don't do the little things right. Everything we talked about from the very beginning was the only game that matters is Wisconsin, when that was our home opener. That is the team that is standing in our way to go to the World Series. And that is and treat every team like they're the same respected ball club, because again, our focus is in-house and our focus has to be like what we can control.
Yeah.
So if you are looking into the big picture of what's happening, you are going to slip up because the teams we play, they can show up, they can play. We haven't played a team that hasn't competed. And so I think that's awesome because it's keeping us mentally sharp for when we come to pack play. But if we are looking at the big picture, we're going to miss a lot of the process steps to get us prepared for those big moments.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think for you, maybe it's been a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but you've had so many reps to do it, right? Like you've played so many seasons and you still have another year of eligibility, don't you?
I do. I'm going to be with a walking cane showing up to Club Farrington. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's definitely helps because we have a good amount of fifth years that have the experience of a preseason going into conference and understanding the mental capacity that you have to buy into every single game. Because I've been a bubble team at Boise State. We were a bubble team to go into postseason and we didn't get in. And we had a stellar season and that was a heart-wrenching feeling. So I know what the other side of it feels like.
Yeah.
In the way of having to buy into every moment you can to never feel like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You it's funny you bring up Boise State, and I was going to bring it up in a second just because I think it's hilarious that not that you played at Boise State, but just the fact of the matter is you can open your window right now and it's 60 degrees here. It's
true.
It's how cold in Idaho right now? Let's see.
I have no clue. I've not.
It's 40 and raining.
Yeah, that's a warmer day. I remember when we were there and it was 40 degrees. We were going no sleeves. It was basically like it was 80 degrees. So at least they're in the 40s.
Crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It's been, we were just talking about it. I was talking to some friends that were there and it is such a change in preseason. I feel like preseason went by so quick because we've been at home.
Yeah.
We haven't had to travel versus when you were on the road every single weekend. It felt like you were on the road for 6 months off at war. So, and so it's been very nice. I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed that I get to call this place home for sure.
Yeah. I know we talked about it last week, but it still feels like you said, you guys you haven't had a road test. You haven't been able to go on the road, just travel and get that opportunity. Like, are you guys starting to get that itch of you're just like, we love Club Farrington, but I just want to like experience that other side of college softball?
Yeah, for sure. I think some of the younger girls obviously don't know like the benefits that playing on the road, the memories. But some of my best memories from college softball are from those travel trips.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. And I also, maybe this is a hot take, I love playing on the road. As much as I love the atmosphere of your fans, it is so fun to come into enemy lines.
Yeah.
And just be the team that people want to lose.
Yeah.
Like they want you to be beat. Like they want you to suck. I don't know. That's fun to me because then
you like being the villain. You like being the villain.
Exactly. I love being the villain because then when you do good, it just feels that much better.
Yeah, I feel it. Last question, Kelsey. Just kind of off that then. Who's your favorite villain of all time and why?
My favorite villain? Wow. I wasn't expecting a fun question.
You mean none of the other questions were fun?
They're all serious. This isn't like Cheesecake Factory again. Yeah, we have to get another hot or not take once in a while.
Okay, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that.
But I don't think he counts as a villain, but I'm wearing my Rocky, my Mighty Mix hoodie, so he doesn't count as a villain, but Apollo.
We're going Mickey?
Creed
Oh, Apollo.
and Apollo when they're first fighting each other, when they first interact, that movie gives me goosebumps.
Oh my gosh. That's such a good. Is that 3? Rocky 3 when Apollo and Rocky? Or is that 4? 4's the big one with Apollo. 4's the one where like they've got Ivan Drago and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the Russian. I think it's either 2 or 3.
2 or 3. I don't know which one's Clubber Lang and all those ones. God, Rocky's such a good movie. Such a
when
great
you
series
you haven't came to a game.
Thanks,
So
Kelsey.
when you
Thanks,
come,
Kelsey. Okay.
The ASU Sun Devil fans, be a better fan than Anthony. You show up to Club Farrington, and you show your
There you go.
support.
There you go.
Because you'll see that my walk-up song, one of the days, is the Rocky Fight song.
Okay.
You'll appreciate it. He hasn't been able to make comments about it, but
Well,
get
on
you
that
there.
note, thank you, Kelsey, for another edition of Kelsey's Corner. And then obviously, best of luck this weekend. I'll see if I can make it out to a game this weekend.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Woo.
Got grilled,
Buddy.
man. Got grilled.
Out of nowhere, too.
Put me on the grill.
First, she says, I expected better questions.
I know, pretty much.
Right?
She's like, yeah, well, this is the only fun one.
Yeah, she's like, oh, man, I expected better questions. Also, you're a fraud.
Apparently.
Like, basically.
Gosh. Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna do my darndest to get to
You need to
an
now.
ASU softball game. Yeah, no, now
Like,
I have
you've
to.
been
No,
put on blast.
I've
Like,
literally
you
been
have
put
to.
on
You
blast.
have
I've been
to.
called out. Like, I have to go to an ASU softball game. Now, if you haven't been, seriously, I haven't been this season. I love going to ASU softball
I've heard you've
games.
never been to an ASU athletics event
that's just
ever.
bullshit.
You've
That's
never
just
stepped on
bullshit.
campus.
No, literally, I will honestly say the most fun that I've had working at PHNX was me, Sean, and Shane going to the Arizona State softball regional at Club Farrington. It was the most fun that I've ever had at an Arizona State sporting event because it really is so damn electric, and that team was so damn good. This team, 11-6, again through 17, is a really strong start compared to what they were last season. So definitely, if you haven't been, go check out Club Farrington, ASU softball with a plethora of games this weekend. Definitely an exciting time. And if I'm out there, come find me. Come say what's up.
Come confirm that he's actually
come
been there.
confirm that I am
Please have
actually at the
some
game.
witnesses out there, please.
I was not expecting her to call me out and grill me like that, man. It is what it is. But hey, if I do go to an ASU softball game this weekend, I'll definitely be stopping at Circle K to get myself some snacks and fill up on gas because Circle K, they've got it all with their new free membership program, Inner Circle. You're going to save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then guess what? Save 3 cents per gallon every single day after that, not to mention you're going to get every 6th free on a selection of Circle K products. We're talking pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Now, it is Friday, so like I said, go to Club Farrington, support ASU, or maybe you don't have the funds, the time to go to a sporting event this weekend. That's okay. Highly recommend you stop at your local Circle K, get yourself some snacks, and then stop at your local dispensary, pick up some OGs. And then
Have you ever had a personal experience with OGs, Mr. Anthony Totri?
I may or may not have had. I've dabbled in the arts of scratch-made gummies from time to time. Maybe last night while I was, in the PHNX Suns chat, I was watching all of our content on PHNX last night, man.
It's the best way to consume our content.
What was happening? Like, just so, yes, I took OGs last night. I love OGs. It's a Flavoring Fridays. Last night for you, Eric, you were producing the Sun Show, and you saw me just poof in the chat.
I've never seen Anthony Totri appear in our Suns chat before. Not once in my entire life. And all of a sudden, here I see, among our comments of many, just basically a free ad for OGs, which I'm fine with. They deserve all the ads that they can get. But Totri just popping in and basically be like, I need to tell you guys, OGs is the greatest thing that has ever happened on planet Earth. Goodbye. And then he left. And I texted him. I was like, how many OGs have you had? And he was like, the whole bag.
It was a good
the
time,
whole
man.
bag. No,
It was
he
a great
didn't have
time.
the whole bag because he consumed responsibly.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Just a couple.
he felt responsibly really good.
Oh, absolutely. And if you want to do the same, guys, go check out OG's newest products that they have launched with live rosin, the OG's Naturals and the Big OG's. OG's Naturals are vegan gummies made with live rosin, available in a sweet clementine flavor. We're always talking about the flavor off the back half of that, but let's talk about the fact that they're vegan gummies. Like, is that not cool as hell in today's world where I feel like a lot of people do have health restrictions or dietary restrictions to be able to, still be able to partake with scratch-made gummies that are vegan? I think that is really cool.
So good.
Yeah, they do.
Like, if they were just candy, they
You'd
would
eat 'em.
sell out.
You'd
But
absolutely
they're more
eat
than
'em.
just candy.
Oh, for sure. To learn more about OG's gummies and where you can find them, head on over to ogsbrands.com. Short Bus in the chat. I'm not even going to read your Waffle House comment, because I don't want no damn waffles. Short Bus said, I went the other day and told the guy I want something so strong is going to make me think I can walk. And he said, you need Jesus for that. So I waited to say for the next cashier gave me OGs.
Woo, you are a character, brother. I love it.
Short Bus is something different, man. He's a different animal. He's a beast.
Different breed. If Short Bus was a hot or not subject, I would say hot.
He's on fire.
I would
He's
say
absolutely
absolutely
on fire.
scalding.
I remember the very first show that Short Bus came in here, and I was like, who is this guy? And then he's been a staple ever since then. Ever since. It is officially time.
It's time.
It's time for Hot or Not. And
okay.
We haven't, I don't know if you and I have done one of these
Just me and you?
where you are producing.
No.
Let's start off with the same question I ask Danielle every week. Who's hot in the office this week and who wasn't?
You know, I actually forgot that you were going to ask me that question.
Perfect. I'll put you on the spot.
Who has been hot this week? I would say Jacob Franklin.
Jacob Franklin's been hot this week.
Jacob Franklin has been hot this week. We got because we're talking in office. Out of office, it's our entire Cardinals crew for doing some incredible work out there at the Combine. But Jacob Franklin and, all the producers, but of course Jacob Franklin leading the way, have had to step up in his absence, and he's been producing a lot more shows and doing the Jacob Franklin thing. Plus he's got a caboose. So, it plays into it. You know what I mean? What? Don't act like you're not the one who brings that up.
I'm not talking. Carry on, man. Carry on.
You're not arguing?
Carry on.
Jacob_Franklin4 is hot. And who has not been hot
in
the
ugly,
office?
as
Who has
Danielle
been
has said.
ugly? Oh my gosh. I do not envy Danielle because I feel very put on the spot right now.
You don't have to call them ugly. You could
No.
just say, they've been a little chilly this week. That'd be a nice way to put it. Danielle's like, they're hideous.
Dude, I don't know. You.
Me?
Yeah,
I've
you.
been
Yeah,
ugly this
you.
week?
Yeah. I don't know.
According to Kelsey, shit, apparently.
Yeah, I know. You for not going to Club
I
Farrington,
know.
brother. That's what I've got to do. So oh man, I forgot I had to do that. I had all my topics laid out and ready to go. I felt good, and now I feel
Got you all
dirty.
nervous,
I need to go
man.
take a shower, man.
Oh, gosh. Well, let's go ahead. What is the first hot or not topic?
So we're doing an entire college football combine related hot or not.
Oh,
and
wow,
big
okay.
topic this morning was projected to go to the Cardinals as Marvin Harrison Jr., elite wide receiver prospect who I am praying for every single night to end with my sweet Redbirds. However,
I'm not.
he was scheduled to have a little combine media day presser today.
He was.
Guess who didn't show up to their combine media presser? Marvin Harrison Jr., hot or not, pulling the power move at the combine.
Ooh, pulling the power move. So hot or not as in just not participating.
The whole concept of him having a scheduled time and him
and not showing up.
because he's just that damn good.
I mean, that's not hot, man.
Yeah.
It's not hot.
That's tough.
Like I just expect you to be better as a person, right? Like it doesn't even have to do with the fact that you're famous and you're going to go make a ton of money in the NFL. If you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, and you're scheduled to be somewhere at a certain time, I don't care if it is, you're speaking at the Grammys.
Or if you're going to an ASU softball game.
Or if you're going to, I don't know, like a middle school to speak to some kids. Like you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, you go and you're there. Right now, obviously, there are circumstances that would warrant an excuse to get out. However, not being able to improve your draft stock doesn't count as an excuse.
Well, it's just it's not showing up I'm okay with, but it's scheduling that you were going to show up and then not showing up. If he was just like, I'm not going to do anything at the combine, I'd say that, okay, that's hot because you're that damn good that you can make that decision.
Which is understandable.
Who cares? But if he's like, yes, I will be there, and then the morning of, he's like, I won't. Now, who knows? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe he knows what team he's going to.
That's still fine.
Maybe
you're not talking to the teams.
Maybe he
You're not
has
talking to the
been
teams at
having
media.
brunch with Jonathan Gannon
Oh yeah,
and company.
I'm pretty sure that would be
Maybe him and Larry Fitzgerald are out
okay.
hitting the golf course together out in Indy. You never know what the reason might be. He might have a perfectly fine. It's not hot.
No, it's not.
It's not hot. That's
There
a big
you go.
thumbs down.
There
All
you
right,
go.
sticking to the
Wait,
combine.
if we do the thumbs down, oh no, it's only on StreamYard when that happens.
Yeah. If we do the thumbs down, like rain and thunder and lightning. And like the entire thing turns upside down. And then if you do a thumbs up, it's like, woohoo, celebration. If you are listening on audio and you have no idea what's going on, I would highly encourage you to check out the video, but also thank you for listening. Give us a 5-star review and make sure you rate and review this podcast and just say how handsome Anthony Totri's voice sounds.
Is that what it is?
That's really all that it is. All right, sticking to the combine, there has been lots of talk about Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
Yes.
And he is apparently going to sell his winning record at Michigan in draft interviews. Hot or not, J.J. McCarthy's chances of succeeding in the NFL.
Wow, that is a loaded fucking question if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Chances
Now, I don't know if you know this, but Tom Brady went to Michigan.
I did know that. I did know that Tom Brady went to Michigan. 6th round, pick 199 in the NFL draft. What was it? 2000, 2001, 1999? One of those drafts. Wow. Hot or not? So pretty much hot or not J.J. McCarthy
Basically.
in the NFL.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because you know what team he's going to go to.
If you say the Chargers, I'm walking out.
The Chargers.
He's not going to the Chargers, man.
Well, I don't know, man. Justin Herbert,
Stop it.
It's okay. Tua is a
I
cafeteria
just don't
merchant.
see us. I mean, he's got to land in the perfect spot, right? Because that's how he succeeded. He didn't succeed at Michigan because he was J.J. McCarthy. He succeeded at Michigan because Michigan was Michigan.
System quarterback.
He could be, I think, a great spot for him, Minnesota.
Okay.
They've got some talent around him. Yes, they need some pieces, but I think he's the type of guy that you put somewhere and he's absolutely hot if you are able to put him in the right system. Outside of that, though, I don't think that J.J. McCarthy is going to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, so I guess not hot. Not hot is probably where I would go with that.
Not hot for J.J. McCarthy in the NFL.
Specifically not hot for everybody saying that J.J. McCarthy is going to find his way into the first round of the NFL draft.
Yeah, no chance.
It's just not going to happen. Not hot.
Saul is
Denver
definitely
Broncos,
not on
DNVR
J.J.
Broncos.
McCarthy.
Can I interest you in J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. All right, last question.
Last hot or not? Here we go.
Last hot or not. The Pac-12 is trying to
Oh my
survive,
gosh.
baby, and they are pouring into Washington State and Oregon State, and they have 2 years to get the amount of teams. I believe it's 7 Division I teams that support both men's and women's sports to be considered a Power 5 conference. Hot or not, 2 years from right now, the Pac-12 being a conference.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's cold as hell. It's ice cold. It's you haven't paid your water bill cold. And it is just absolutely frigid.
We have a triple not hot today.
The Pac-2 is going to be the Mountain West is what it's going to be. The Mountain West should absorb those 2 schools. Oregon State and Washington State will run the Mountain West for 2 years, and then they'll go to a new conference when the next big conference realignment switch happens, which in my estimation will be when the ACC kind of disbands and falls apart, which it probably will happen. But no, the Pac-2, the Pac-12, whatever you want to call it, is garbage. It's either one of those schools even have a schedule yet for football?
I don't think so.
Yeah, dude,
I don't think so.
What are we doing? It's not hot at all. Like
They're going to keep the Pac-12 network.
Yeah,
that's going to help.
Are they really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They're gonna,
Oh my
they're going
God.
to keep the network and they're going to pour into
It
Washington
can't even
State
be
and
called the
Oregon State.
network, dude.
The Pac-12
channel.
If
that, man. No, because nobody can find it. It's the Pac-12 cameras.
Who's paying for Oregon State, Washington State athletics when they don't even play games?
Nobody.
Okay, that is your hot or not. Triple not hots from me. I think that's a 3 for 3. We'll consider that a win.
I appreciate it. Oh, I just got a notification on Twitter for everybody that loves ASU. This is from JPA Football. Just tweeted out a video of Jaden Daniels doing an interview with CBS Sports, saying, quote, "On draft day, if I hear my phone ring and it's Antonio Pierce, I don't know what I would do." In level of excitement.
I took that in a
He took it the other way.
completely different direction. I thought he would pick up the phone and be like, absolutely
doing
not. No, not a chance. Okay. I took that a completely different way.
That's something, man. That is absolutely
It's going to be an
something.
interesting draft for former Sun
I'm
Devils,
so damn
man.
excited. I'm a draft sicko. I love it. I absolutely do. It's a lot of fun, guys. But That's going to do it for today's PHNX Sun Devils show. Do us a solid on your way out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me on social at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy right here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. But in the meantime, guys, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.